Hello, folks, and welcome. This is the Nancy and
Tom,
show,
the B
or the
team.
Tom and Nancy show.
So it looks like we got 6 people watching.
Oh wow, already. Cool.
Yeah, I'm on
Um,
YouTube.
hey, let's see. Oh, hey, Grayson. You were the first. Um, and
Then
DC's on. Hey, DC, thanks for coming on
DCD
early. Hmm?
out from the West Coast, so it's like 4 o'clock his time.
Yeah, yeah, we're on before the news. Hold on, I'm getting situated here. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
What did I want to? I want to make sure. Okay, so obviously the YouTube channel. So there was a button here for me to click to put this comments on the screen. So DC, can you tell me if you like that? Does that look right? Does it look okay? Or should I click the button not to have those comments on the screen?
Oh, it relaxed me a little
Grayson,
bit.
Randy, tell me if
Yeah,
oh
I did
yeah.
that. I was wondering if a different view worked better with the comments.
Well, so there's a button up here that says I can turn the comments off the stage. I find them distracting. Okay, DC. Anybody
Yeah.
else? Mike, Randy, Grayson, Bill. They're
Hey,
small.
Randy. Hey, Bill.
Okay. Okay. So it's redundant, is what DC's saying, I think. And that's what I thought. I thought they would be. It was just a new button to click. And there's also you can share this on your channel. So if you come in as a guest, you can share, you can go on your channel and run this same chat live. Nice. Yeah, that's us, DC. We click on those. Hey, Tom, see if you can get rid of that.
Get rid
So
of
Tom
what?
and I are running, see the comment on screen? See if you can click. Yeah, okay. So Tom and I are running this together. And we didn't know how to do that until 6:45. So we just are clicking buttons with you. That's all. Singular. Okay, Nancy's new time. All right. So I think everybody knows where I'm at. I am in southeast Pennsylvania, but I'm north of Philadelphia. So with that being said, we're going to talk about hey, come on. We're going to talk about summer solstice queens. So Tom, just remind everybody where you're at.
I'm in Southwest Ohio, and I mean Southwest Ohio. 1.5 miles from Kentucky and 6 miles from Indiana. So down in the corner.
Okay. So we're kind of like northeast. If you look at the United States, we're kind of over in the northeast. So what we do is in spring. Now, my spring never really took off this year. My bees are acting like it's April. However, the flow is almost gone. Like, well, we have this month yet, but I think the swarming impulse is gone for them, but I don't know. So
About the same
in a
boat.
typical huh? So in a typical year, um, I would have sold nukes, and um, they want up here in the Northeast is overwintered queens. They want proven layers. So when I sell my nukes, they're marked, they're summer solstice queens from the year before. So they haven't been through a flow, but they are proven layers. So I will sell off some of my queens that way. And then there's always a time when people want to just buy queens. I try to talk them out of it most of the time, but sometimes I do sell them. So then I have to requeen, and I don't graft. I don't do any of that.
I do. So I do it a little differently.
So Tom, you talk a little bit about up until that point, like what's it look like for you in Ohio?
Well, basically, our flow ends when the basswood trees bloom. And that's usually around the last week of June, right around the summer solstice, maybe the third week to the last week of June that they bloom. But the flow where they store honey is about over, but our flow doesn't end till about the middle of August because we have clover grows really, really well in the Ohio Valley. And that usually doesn't get burnt up until about the middle of August, anywhere from the first to the third week of August. So even July, there's a steady low flow going on during the after the summer solstice
Hmm.
for about 6 weeks, 5 to 6
So
weeks.
we don't have a fall flow here. It's nothing to speak of, and it's not
And
really honey that I want to overwinter my bees on.
we don't have a
Last year,
fall flow either. It's usually too hot and dry.
hmm
Somewhere around the 1st of August, the faucet turns off. It gets up to 90 degrees, 100 degrees, and it's hot and dry. There would be a
yeah,
pollen
I
flow
had
with a goldenrod, but not a nectar flow.
right. Gives them something to do, but it's not. I don't want them storing. Like I want them to have this first spring honey to overwinter on. So I let them pack that in.
Gotcha.
Um, and last year, that drought really hit me hard. I was feeding, they ate everything they had, and then I fed from like August to November. And I can't do that again.
Right.
So I
And
changed.
I need my knee replacement, and I didn't feed except for a little bit. So
Uh,
I had to put sugar bricks on them in February, early February.
oh no, I was feeding liquid. August, September, October, November, I was feeding liquid. And then I put my first Hive Live fondant patty on, and then I gave them a second one. Last year was the first year they took two.
Well, I left them
Uh,
a box, a medium super of honey, plus I fed them 2 gallons of sugar water in early September before my knee surgery, thinking that was enough. But I found out that they ate all of it before I could get back in the hives 2 months later. And then it was November, too late.
to feed
So that
liquid.
drought really hurt me. But I want to
So
talk
I'm
about
gonna.
grafting summer queens.
You want to talk about that? Or
Yeah.
okay.
So this
I
time of
don't I
year,
can't be part I don't do that. So I'm not I can't I'm just not part of that conversation. But
yeah,
go ahead and then we'll pick up the summer solstice queens again. Go ahead.
yeah. So, like I said, our big flow ends I'd say within the summer solstice to the end of June. So I try to have my queens emerging out at the middle to the end of that flow. So usually around the 23rd, 24th of June. Clover will still be strong, sage will still be strong, lavender will be kind of strong still. So there's still plenty out there, just not what I'd say a flow that you can store honey with. So I'll be grafting somewhere around the 15th to the 17th of June. So probably in about one more week, I'll be setting up my cell builder. This year it's going to be hive number one because it doesn't have a queen right now. So it might have a queen, but it's going to be a brand new queen. Um, but hive number 16, I'm going to be grafting from. What I do is I have 12 frame hives, 6/6. I have six 5 frame nukes and Ricky's horizontal hive, and I got a couple 4 framers, and I got a 6 framer. So I'll go ahead and graft and fill all those boxes up. And I also have 2 3-ways, which I'll put a queen in each one of those. So that, like 10 frames, six to 7 frames. So that gives me like 25 queens, something like that, that I'll have set up for that'll be made it that by the middle of July. So they still have like a month they can get nectar from the continual flow that goes on. Then in the spring, I graft again, usually around the 1st of April. So I have queens emerging out around the middle to the 3rd week of April. That all depends on spring. Could be the last week of March. It could be the end of the 1st week of April, like it was this year. Once that happens and I get into the 15th day um, of the ready for the queen to get emerging, I go into my 21 honey production hives and I make nukes. So I can sell overwintered queens in the middle to the end of April where nobody else can in my area.
Mm,
Then I
uh-huh.
take those summer solstice hives that overwintered and I pop them into my honey production hives.
Yeah. So it's a
I
first
do a
flow.
I
It's
do a
their
swap
first flow.
out. And the
Yeah.
best
Uh-huh.
part about
Okay.
that, summer solstice queens, since this is their first flow, will not swarm 99.8% of the times. So I don't
Uh-huh.
have to worry about swarming. I had 2 hives this year that were overwintered queens, so they would swarm. One of them swarmed on me, and I knew it was hive number one. And the other one just barely made it through winter with only 3 frames of bees. And by the time it built up now, which is good for flow, um, it didn't swarm. So I don't have to worry about swarming too much on my production hives. And since I just now took a nuke out of my overwintered hives, my summer solstice queens, they're not going to swarm right away either. I got time on them. So it works out pretty good. The biggest caveat is I have to do 30% more queens, 20% more queens in the summer solstice queens because a lot of them don't make it back from their mating flights.
Oh, right. Right. Is it dragonfly season for you
It's
or
dragonflies, it's all the young mockingbirds that eat bees, all the
okay.
Baltimore orioles, the common orioles that eat bees. So a combination of all them. I get down to about 60, maybe if I get lucky, 70%.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm going to do 21 queens to replace my 21 production hives, I need to do about 26, 27 splits.
So when you graft queens and you put them in that cell starter and all of that, you're saving yourself 2 weeks as opposed to me. I just take, so I want it to be in the middle of my flow. In the middle of my flow, I want them to make summer solstice queens.
Yeah.
So I just take a frame. I just take a frame or two, well, a frame of eggs, brood, whatever. I mean, I gotta stay on top of them. I gotta check them. So I just keep them as 5 frames deeps, so they're quick to go through. So I just let them requeen in the middle of the flow, that tiny little colony, and then I go back and I take all the queen cells off except two. It's just a
Right.
split. It's basically a walkaway split. But I do that in the middle of the flow. So I have good, strong quality queens. They're making uh royal jelly to beat the band. They have, tons of resources, and hopefully we're gonna have that again in two weeks.
Right.
So
I time mine with my honey pool, so I'm going to be pulling honey the last week of June because that's when the flow ends, the big
mhm.
flow. So I'll have plenty of bees to make my splits, plenty of brood, plenty of bees. And like I said, I'll still have clover blooming and sage will be blooming. So they get enough food to at least build up a little bit for winter time. And then I'll have to feed them to get them through
So
winter.
ideally, if it's a strong year, this year is not going to be it. But as I'm pulling honey off, then I can go and grab that frame, those frame or two.
Right,
That's kind of how I do it. When I'm already manipulating the supers, they're already one's being pulled off, the other one's, whatever, manipulating.
right. And I got a feeling
So
this year we're still in that we're still in that cold winter pattern. It's just now changing. So if we get if we
just
get our
mhm.
we get our thunderstorms once a week through June through July, I'm going to have a good. Actually, I think the flow is going to continue this year through to August. I think
Oh,
they're
so you think this late start, so to speak, is just push everything still got. See, I'm worried that's not all gonna happen. Like I'm worried that it will just dry up the second week of June. It will not, well, we won't get it. But
yeah. I mean that's a possibility,
hey,
but
Mr.
I don't.
Colorado.
Hey, Brian, Jen, whoever's on the two. Yeah, I think this year is totally different than last year, weather-wise. I mean, we had a spring, first time we've had a spring, and I would say 70% of the time we were slightly below normal, and we were 100%, 200% times over rainfall normal. I mean, August was the wettest on record, and May came in number eight wettest May. So I don't see that trend ending. So I'm thinking the clover is going to stay huge like it is right now. My clover is the biggest I've ever had it. My whole 3 acres now is full. Wherever I got yard is full of clover.
Yeah. I mowed
But
today. Um and I broadcast crimson clover in areas just to be pretty, and to give them something, and that's coming up nice now from all this. So some of my beds, my flower beds and stuff, that I usually just seed them by hand, like I just broadcast, and then drive over it with my
right,
golf cart, press them in, and so I'm hoping that's going to look pretty good this year.
yeah. So I'm really watching the basswood trees. Last year they bloomed a week early than typical. They were almost finished blooming by the summer solstice. Usually, hey Ryan and
Hey,
Bill, um,
whoop.
they
Uh-oh.
usually blooms the last week of June. So I'm going to see if it gets into the first week of July this year. That would be perfect for my queens coming out around right around the 25th to the 28th of June. I don't. I'm going to shoot for the 15th, But if it's raining, it'll be the 16th or 17th. I'm going to give myself a 3-day window there.
Oh, somebody had mentioned early back in the about how I'm going to be up against that drought again, and I hope not. But what I did differently was, I'm trying to downsize a little bit, and I did not sell nukes like I normally do, just because I just didn't have them. They just aren't ready. I have two going out this coming Sunday, but what I did was I'm putting on double deeps now. So my honey this year is gonna be slim, real slim coming in. So they have double deeps. They can fill that as much as they want, and then they get a medium on top of it as well. And they're gonna
Right.
fill. I keep thinking about what the northerner guys do, where they pack it out. There's no brood. They just I'd love for mine to take in that, but I don't know
Bill
how to
asked
do
me if the
that.
swarms have stopped. Yeah, Bill. It's about stopped. 2 days ago, there was one downtown Cincinnati, but somebody else got it. I didn't get it, and that's the last one. But that's like the only one in the last week. And I did one 2 weeks ago. Um, Not tomorrow, Thursday probably when it's raining. I'm going to check all my traps. I usually always check my traps on rainy days because the bees won't be flying, and I can close them up and take them during the daytime.
Oh yeah,
So
DC, I'm
Thursday,
gonna feed. I'm definitely. I mean, I'm feeding. I will feed. I just need them to. I'm just trying to be proactive with the drought, being that we went through one, and I kind of know, what. Hopefully, but yes, I will feed as often and as much as they need.
yeah, when I pull the honey, I'll put a gallon or
Oh,
2 gallons on them, and then I'll hold off until the clover dies out, and then I'll start feeding them for winter. That's usually my schedule.
oh, I don't have enough. When I pull the honey, and whenever that is, July 4th weekend ish, like, um, then they just, I try to let them go a little bit, but then I'll put feed, but you know, I'm just really not thinking that there's going to be much harvest for me this year.
Well, Brian, that's a good thing to have 10 extra
Yeah,
nukes.
those sound like production hives to me.
Yeah. See, that's another good thing too. I'm really not stealing any bees from my production hives. I'll go ahead and take that nuke out,
Hmm.
3 frames of brood, but I'm putting 3 frames of brood right back in from the overwintered summer solstice queens. So
Right.
the hives don't miss a heartbeat. So by the end of April, my hives are big, and that's when the flow is really starting to kick in, middle of April to the end of April.
Yeah,
And
I take from, I take a little bit from my workforce. Um, but I don't know. That's just what that's just what I do. I didn't ever get into the whole, um, breeding queens and all of that. I just didn't
right,
really want to do all that.
I did it because I didn't want swarming. I wanted to
Hmm.
control swarming a little bit easier. And it gave me a good way to
Well,
sell 20 nukes.
yeah, if you have the market for them. I don't think I would have. I think the most I've ever sold was nine, maybe. And that was advertising pretty good.
Yeah, I still have people calling me now. I had 2 of them last week. I told them I'd catch any more swarms. So I took care of 2 of them the week before with swarms. I only charge them $100 and I catch a swarm and I keep them for a week to make sure the queen's laying good, good frame of bees. Queen or 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. depending
That's
on
a
their
good idea,
schedule.
Brian. Let's see if you can get them to draw a comb, honey. Mine didn't do it last year, and I'm not even asking this year. Not even gonna ask them.
Yeah. I haven't, I think I got four of my supers. I can't even tell you which ones they are, have starter strips in them to make, to cut some comb honey. So I don't know if I
Mhm.
do or don't. And I don't know if their boxes were put on first or last.
Right. I have some
I
of
didn't
that.
pick.
What were those clam shells that you fold back? And you click them together. What
Simple
are they?
comb, simple
Yeah,
comb.
I have. I have. I don't know, maybe
I haven't looked.
20. I don't know. I don't even know how many I have because I put them in last year and they started to pull them and then stopped. Um,
Mm,
so I don't even know. I've got them scattered all over the place. I gotta organize them, but who knows what the price of sugar is going to. Oh, I'm stocking up. I am stocking up already.
I
80
haven't, but I'm
cents,
going to start.
46 are my local grocery store changed their label. So the the regular uh store brand, they changed their label, so they were selling everything with the label 30% off plus discount. So I
Oh,
thought, huh,
wow.
yeah, big skid of 4 pound, and they were selling them in 10, so it was 40 pounds, 40-pound block. So I've got probably 200 pounds already. That was
Wow.
46 cents a pound.
You're way ahead of me. I need to start looking. I need to call Royal King, see if they got sugar. They're usually the best price, but it's a 45 minute drive for me to get to a Royal King.
Oh, that's worth it.
If,
I mean,
well, last year,
I would.
Nancy, I called Royal King. They said they had sugar. So 2 days later, I went up there on a Saturday. Somebody had walked in during the morning and bought the whole pallet.
Mm,
So I drove up
dang.
there and I didn't get any sugar. Hey, Bundy.
Hi, Bundy. So if you check Walmart, and I think we've noticed through these chats that Walmart is pretty consistent across the country. I think it was when I started beekeeping, a 25-pound bag of sugar was $13. Last year it was 19 something. You could just say 20. But most
Right,
everybody across the country was getting 25-pound bags for 20 bucks.
right.
So what's that, 80 cents? Something. I didn't do math in my head quick, but
Yeah, 82 cents, something like that.
so the sugar that
But
I got
yeah,
from the store, my local grocery store, was 46 cents.
wow, that's a
So
good deal.
mhm, probably should see if they have have any more and just go buy another couple 10 10 buck
I think I think
10.
last year, if I would have got the sugar at Royal King, it would have been like 60 cents, 67 cents a pound.
Mm.
They
Oh,
were definitely the lowest price. But everybody knows that and they run out. So,
if I had a truck, I wonder if Domino down in Baltimore, if you can buy
oh,
uh
a
sugar,
pallet.
like if you could.
That's, I need to call Royal King and ask them if I can buy a whole pallet from them. And I can drive up there
Yeah,
and they can put it on my truck.
get a price. Get them to price you out. They'll I mean, I'd wheel and deal with them a little bit.
I
Say what
think
price would you give me
I'm
for.
gonna have to give them a call.
Yeah, see what they give you for a skid. We had gotten one time back when I first started our club, came across somebody came across non-food grade sugar. like couldn't sell it to humans. So they bought a whole bunch of it, and I think we got it in barrels, I want to say. And
Wow.
then we could take our 5 gallon buckets, and they were selling it to us for, I don't know, 20 cents a pound or something goofy like that.
Wow. And that usually just means it hasn't been filtered as much to get all the
I don't know.
contaminants out of it.
Hi, Tiny Creek.
Hey, Tiny
Oh,
Creek.
funny story. I'm in my local Ace hardware store today, and I hear this guy in the aisle behind me, and it sounds like JW. And hi Keith, but I had a giggle a little bit because there's no way JW could have been in the local hardware store with me, but the guy sounded just like JW.
Funny. Hey, Keith.
I thought I
That is funny.
Yeah, because we know each other's voices, and then so
Yeah,
so Keith,
he's
you
not.
were on a lot. I heard you were on. Well, I saw you on Thursday, and I had to give you a hard time about who was that. Um, and then I heard you were on with Bruce.
Yeah, on a Wednesday.
You were on Wednesday
I
night with
saw him.
Bruce. Yeah, I was giving you a hard time a week or so ago about coming on the stage here since you're on all the, like just show up, show your handsome face. Oh,
Hey,
there's good
Kurt.
enough.
Yeah.
Hey, good enough. How was the market? Oh, I did a market. Where was I? Oh, I did really good.
Well, that's good.
I did really good
I'm
down
going to
Upper
do markets
Marion.
next year.
Well,
Yeah.
start going
I'm
to them
ready
this
to go.
year. Start walking them this year. Like, try to go to as many as you can to see, one, if there's someone already selling honey, two, what the traffic looks like. And then you can also talk to the organizer and see if they'll have a spot for you next year. Takes a while to build up your calendar.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more. I think there's a place in Indiana that sell sugars for fermenting, which is I think is a non-food grade sugar.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Hmm.
have to check on that one too. And we're out in Indiana. It could be a 1 hour drive, it could be a 4 hour drive, depending where it's at in Indiana, or 5 hour drive. Indiana sugars.
I just
I
paid
just
for
yeah, where
my
they
last two weekends in Philly for June, and then there's no market July and August, which is lovely. I can't do markets in July and August anymore. I can't.
there's Gary, Indiana. I don't even know where that is.
Gary,
Well, that's
Indiana?
Gary's way up north. That's by
Oh,
Chicago. Yeah.
what's the capital of
That's a
Indiana?
5 hour drive. That's a five and a half
Uh,
hour drive.
that's a 10-hour
There's good,
turn.
yeah. There's good sugar companies around Cincinnati that I know of. We're gonna have to find something. Maybe in Indy or Louisville or Lexington.
Yeah, Keith, I noticed your honey's getting darker with each video,
Yeah,
which is
I
which is
did too.
which is normal and natural, but you can see yourself going through the changes. that are coming our way.
Yeah. When I pull my honey at the end of June, I'm going to put a super back on them. If see if I get any honey in them without me feeding them. I'm open to.
Oh, the dark stuff. The dark
Well, just
stuff?
for them, just for over winter, the bees.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know if it's not it. I mean, it's not real well up here anyway. I guess you got to always preference that, but I don't want to overwinter them on goldenrod and all that those mums and asters and goldenrod. It's too rich for them.
Well, I'm trying to get the clover and the sage in July.
For you. For
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Oh no, not for me, for the bees. For at
Oh,
least for
oh,
them
oh.
to have, at least for them to have food in the fall. So when I feed them, they're not eating what I feed them. They're just storing it because they got food already. Usually that's a game plan.
Well, yeah, the thicker, like I saw someone was typed in there about 1 to 1 in fall. I mean, I always, if I know they're hungry, then I'll feed them 1 to 1 after I pull the supers. But when I want them to store it, I'm gonna go, 3 to
Two to
1,
one.
4 to 1. I go thick, thick, thick.
Yeah, as thick as possible. Yeah, I go 1 to 1 at least through August to
Hmm.
to September about frame.
Yeah,
I guess I used the first cold front. I start going thicker.
yeah. Well, it depends how mean mine are very, very, my yard's very, very calm. So when they start getting a little spicy, you know, I know it's time to feed.
Right, right. Yeah, sweet yellow clover. Man, I wish I had some more of that. The bees love
Mm,
yellow clover.
I don't even know if I would
I
know
have
what
a
yellow.
little bit.
We have white, pink, and red here. I don't even know if I even ever saw yellow clover.
Yellow grows about foot and a half tall, and it's more like a vine kind of
Oh,
plant. It's not. It
not
doesn't.
crown. Oh no.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different clover. The yellow clover.
Yeah, but
It,
Tiny
it,
Creek, do they store? How much are they storing? Or do you have enough? Or do you have keep enough supers on from spring? Because they want to store the thicker stuff.
yeah, 1.5 to 1.
Oh, like a push.
They might store that, especially early.
151. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
my eyes couldn't see what that 1.5 to 1. I got you now. I was like, what?
yeah. I do
Yeah,
about two
okay, I
to
got you.
one, two and a quarter at most.
Oh, single brood. Okay, there you go. Enough said. I get it now. I can't. There's no way
I've
I
been doing
can.
single brood, but this is my last year doing single brood. I'm going back to double just because
I did one
I'm
and a
not
half.
young
I do,
anymore.
yeah, 1.5. I was doing 1.5 for many, many years. I try to do a couple singles, but I don't, it just never, I can't keep enough on them. Yeah, it's because I had too many hives too. I know what I was doing wrong. So that's why another reason I'm trying to scale back.
I might not. I don't know if I am or not. If I'm going to keep doing single brood management.
Mm-mm. It's too much work for me. I can't physically, I can't do that.
Right.
I get too
But
many
since I
hives.
replaced all my queens, that's how I can get away with it too, doing single brood management without even getting into them. They'll manage themselves.
Well, up here the guys say the single brood. you can't keep them in the box. You just have to
Well,
you're constantly creating, manipulating for swarm management in a single up here. Uh,
not if they're new queens.
well, yeah, yeah.
And it's a 10 frame. 8 frame is borderline because they need about 7 to 8 frames when the flow is really going. A queen will lay up 8 or 9 frames.
What's FSF? What's SF? FSF?
SS.
Oh, Tiny Creek's going to, God bless you, going to 50 to 75. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a pretty big jump. But what is F?
I don't know.
Base?
Brian, what is FSF? Oh, Flower Street Farm. What?
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
focused on the bees.
So
Yeah, and I
she's
run
going to
eight
do the farm
frames.
and he's going to do the bees. So right now, they're both
Farmer FSF
and
is
they're
for
both
Flower
beekeeping
Street.
and farming. That's a lot. That's 4 jobs.
I'm at around 100. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
right.
My
Yeah, and I
30,
do
my
run good enough. I do run eight frames. So that's another, and I'm not changing 10, but that's another thing too for me is I can't do in-hive feeders because
right.
that gets me too small for winter.
You can't do single brood management in 8 frames very easily either.
Mm-mm.
Because they need 2 frames of pollen. So that only gives them 6 frames to brood. And the queen
Yeah.
will lay up more than 6 frames.
Hey, collector. Hi, collector. Flower
Yeah,
Street
single
Farm.
brood needs 10 frames. And
Yeah, right.
the last two will first, and the first and the last one will be pollen on the inside and nectar on the outside. And then brood right through the center of all of it. If it's a good queen, she'll lay up those 8 frames. Well,
So Brian, you're at 100. Where do you keep
yeah.
them all? See, that's the other
It's
thing is
got,
I don't want out yard. I mean, I do have out yard. I do have some corporate places that I manage bees, but it's all their stuff. So
yeah, 8 frame singles. I do 6/6, 12 frame singles. They collect the Rick.
yeah, Tiny Creek, we talked about this before.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
do that.
yeah, Tom and I don't do that.
But
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, good enough. Right, right, right. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I do too. Single brood in May. When I pull the honey, the queen excluder comes out, and they're back to doubles to be filled up with honey for winter time.
So I'd
Yeah,
like to do that. I have enough supers to do that next year. Now, like, I'm gonna do the deeps too.
yeah. You would need an 8 frame deep and an 8 frame medium to be the same as single brood management.
Well, that's what I ran all the way up until this year. That's what I did.
Okay.
That,
Well,
that's
that's
how I
single
ran.
brood
That's how I ran.
management.
And then the medium was supposed to be full of honey. Was when they got that full of honey, that medium in the spring, when they had that full of honey, then I put a queen excluder and I put supers on top. So I guess basically I was a single brood management.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of brood area. for the queen. And Charlie does the same thing. He runs a deep and a medium as single brood management. 8 frame deep and a medium.
Yeah, but Steve Rapaski here in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania, he's the big single brood guy. And oh, I forgot to do this single brood. I forgot to
yeah,
hand.
single brood management. 1 box or a
So,
box
right,
and
and
a
he
half if
says
you
one
8
and a
frame.
half is not, people were like, well, can I put a medium on a single brood? I'm like, no, dude, it's not. Can I use 3 mediums for a single brood? No, no. Like, what part of that don't you get?
Yeah, I consider it 8 frame is an exception, just because you need 2 more frames, 3 more frames.
Cowboy up. Hey, JW.
Hey, JW.
Did you hear? Did you hear my story, JW? I was talking about you. Were your ears ringing? Hey, Tar Heel. Hi, Randy. Sorry, Randy. So, JW, I was in my local hardware store today getting some washers, and I hear this guy in the aisle behind me sounds just like you. I'm thinking, oh shit, JW's in my local hardware store, but obviously it couldn't be you. So I thought about you today.
Now, Philip, he probably does the Texas deep single brood management.
Huh? What's that?
Philip does the Texas deep single brood management. You know what a
Run 150
Texas
hives by
deep is,
myself.
don't you?
Uh-uh. No.
It's a box that's probably, Philip would know better. It's probably a good 3 inches deeper, taller. So the frames are 3 to 3 inches bigger, longer, depth wise, maybe 4 inches.
Oh, so it's a deep and a half. It's a deep and a half. It's a deep and a half.
Like a
Three
deep and a
inches.
shallow.
Right, right. It's just three, half of 6. Well, yeah, so it would be a deep and a half.
Yeah, so it's like
JW.
14 frames, 10 plus probably 2 more frames. That's
Oh,
probably the
wow.
perfect size to do single brood management.
And he was
And
lying. He doesn't have 150. He doesn't have 150 colony. You were lying, JW. JW, are you
he
fibbing? Are
may
you
have
telling
150
tales?
raccoons, but not
He's got a
hives.
tractor. I could have a lot more hives if I had a tractor. I just have a golf cart with a wagon. I don't have a tractor. It's a deep
Yeah,
and a medium. Oh, oh, there you go. See what Philip said? It's a deep and a medium. Okay, so that's a single, but it's one. It's one box.
okay, the deep and a medium. Okay, I knew it was a bigger box. I just didn't know how much bigger.
Yeah,
Texas deep.
that's cool. Wonder why they do that down. Why you do that down in Texas, Philip? Something to do with the heat, the rattlesnakes, scorpions. What? Why do you? Why do they do that? Or is it just what they did?
That's just what they do. They do things bigger than Texas. You know that.
It's the antlers, the horns.
Yeah.
Can't make my horns go right. Beijing deeps. Ugh. Right. Okay. They don't make much honey, but you don't have to feed them. Well, right, because they're backfilling, right?
Well, yeah, probably
That's
the
my
top
goal
two
this year.
two
Is
inches
I want
above the brood is probably 3 inches above the brood is probably all honey on every frame.
right, a whole medium.
A
Yeah, the
whole
whole
medium.
the whole 6 inches of the top of that box. The honeybee compound. Oh, is this someone new?
That's I have to look at my
Who's that?
notes. That's Charlie. No.
Hi, Charlie.
It was notes or is it Jason? I can't read my notes.
Charlie or Jason? Tell us, honeybee. You're new to me.
It's Jason, I
Tell
think.
us where you are and what your name is. What part of the country are you in?
I think it's Jason.
He's typing.
Yeah,
Jason.
it's
Hi,
Jason.
Jason.
I,
I got 2 new subscribers this week, so I don't know if they're on or I have their names somewhere, but
if I can read my notes, he's in Maryland.
the truth is, okay, JW, he's coughing up. Here we go. The truth is,
Yeah,
as of
47.
this afternoon, I've got 47.
And that's,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we feel you. And you have a tractor.
Hey,
Hey, Barnhill.
Barnhill,
We got a lot of people,
bees.
we got a lot of people on here, Tom.
We
We got
got
like
30
30 people
watching.
on here.
And
Wow.
let me see if I got a notification for Bob.
Oh yeah, right.
No,
He's supposed to
I
be.
got no notification. Bob's not coming on. And I like to see.
What is it? 7, what is it? 8 of 8?
Yeah, right. So I don't think he's coming on. Let me go to YouTube and look.
It's the shagging one.
Uh,
Picture in the Scooby Doo van.
what?
Why it says JW House the shagging?
He's a hey Randy, Tar Heels beekeeper.
Yeah.
Randy's a good guy.
Yeah. Oh, I remember
Everybody
Randy from
is.
years back now. He's been around for years. From the beginning of
Yeah.
the beginning, I think, which this will be my 5th year. Well, we talk about the expo as being I mean, that's our catalyst, but this will be my 5th year at the expo.
You know what? Same deal. 5th year.
Yeah. Yeah. We were 3-year beekeepers when we went to the expo.
Yep.
That's the do or die year there. And we dude. We didn't die, we
Yeah.
dude.
Started at the same time.
Yep. We do a lot of the same practices too, you and I. I run full deeps, 12
Hey
inch.
Randy, there's 5 nukes that I got from Corey Stevens / Tom Warner that picked up down there with you guys with Cayman. They're rocking. They're one of
Mm,
my biggest hives. All 5 of them are my biggest hives right now. It's a very, very good nukes.
shaggin' wagon. I think I did see the
Yeah.
honey wagon. Did he have it on?
I
Did
haven't
Jade?
seen JW's new honey wagon. I guess
Hey Clay, it's a it's a cart. I think
play.
it's his like put at the end of the driveway cart. I think he had it on I think he was on Joey. I think he was on Joey's.
Okay. Oh, I missed Saturday. I was busy. I got I got a retirement party this Saturday. I got 2 graduations the following Saturday, and I got another graduation the following Saturday. So I won't be doing any Joey Saturday
Any of Joey's.
streaming
I,
this month. I'm booked this whole month every Saturday. Yeah, and last month, the last 2 weeks, I had graduation parties. Last 3 weeks, I had graduation parties.
Jeez. Um, when I do market Saturday, I'm just not with it, enough
Yeah,
to. I might listen a little bit as I'm fading off to Joey. So Okay,
What time does
so
you
Randy's
what
saying
time
his
does your market run?
so my Philly market runs I try to be down there by 10 o'clock and then it's till 6.
Whoa, it's the
So
whole day thing.
yeah,
Okay,
Philly's a whole day. And then the Upper Marion is only 10 to 2 and not Fridays. So Philly is Friday and Saturday 10 to 6. And
okay.
it's a lot of work because you got to park, I got to park in a garage and it's nonstop foot traffic, just nonstop.
Wow, that's the ones around here are only Saturday, and they're usually 9 to noon, 3 hours.
Oh, JW took a hit on his piggy bank there. Well, so farmers market, yeah, so Philly isn't a farmers market. It's not a farmers market vibe at all.
Okay,
It's a touristy, like I'm on City Hall. It's touristy. I meet people from all over the world, like
gotcha.
uh, and then once a month I do the regular farmers market thing where, you know, they bring their little sacks, buy from the Amish.
Yeah, my sales have been really actually been slowly picking up. It's pretty steady. I had to pull a couple boxes because I ran out of last year's honey, which I
Hmm.
try not to do. I try to get my honey to last through June, so I was off by a month.
Yeah, right, Brian. 10 to 6 long, and then I drive. It's about an hour down, an hour back. Yeah, so by the time Joey comes on at 8:30 for me here, I'm not fit.
Yeah, I'd be
It's
shot
most
too.
Yeah, I'm doing it myself. Like, I mean, I'm doing the whole. The vendors next door have always been just wonderful. So I can run and go potty if I have to. I usually don't. I can usually
Right,
maybe once. I'll go once.
8 to 1. Yeah, or 9 to 1.
9 to
Yeah,
1.
those aren't too bad.
8 to
That's what
8 o'clock.
it
That's
is
way too
around my
long.
area. Or noon, 8 to noon, 9 to 1, somewhere in that ballpark.
8 to
Big
1.
race.
That's nobody goes anywhere here until at least 10 o'clock. Like you can lay in the middle of the street and nothing's happening.
I'm going to do some farmer markets next year. I was still working too much, but next year I should be a lot better.
Yeah.
Have a lot more time.
Oh, see what Brian here says. So I'm the opposite. Oh, I tried to put Brian's up here. Where'd it go? So I'm the opposite. I do okay at farmers markets, but the art markets out of this world. The
Hmm.
Okay, 8 to 12. Oh, that's 8 to 12. Wow. Hmm.
Yeah.
Here, oh,
Never,
and there's another 8 to noon. Yeah, Philly. So it's a nonstop. So yeah, I'm on City Hall. Like I'm looking up at Billy Penn, and it's nonstop foot traffic. Friday is all the people that work in the city, and then actually I've only got Friday and Saturday is you're back to back because of the rain, but Friday is all the city people working, and then Saturday is all the tourists. So
yeah, I like
hey,
Keith's
Jeanette,
comment.
what was it?
Hey,
Oh,
Jack and
Keith,
Danette. He hit his
work on it.
market for 3 hours, and he can only be nice to everybody in 3 hours. So don't see him on the fourth hour.
Tom, you can click on them too, you know.
I know
Yeah.
you had one up already.
Well, yeah, you
That's
just
all
click
right.
on it. Remember? Yeah, when I come home from those markets, I my husband has to give me a lot of space because I am uh type A'd out.
Brian hit the nose. That's why most of the markets in my area end at noon because it's hot.
I'm not
Everything's
doing any
melting.
July and August this year. Maybe once a month. But that's it. I can't do them. I can't do the heat anymore. Plus, work in the yard.
Right. Well, your art ones are indoors, right? It's air conditioned.
No,
No?
no. Everything's outside until September, till it goes to the
Wow.
art shows. No, I'm out in the heat.
That's really tough.
Yeah. Well, look, one year I had to go set up at 4 o'clock on a black pavement
Blacktop.
and sit there till 8. I think there were some nights my eyeballs were going. I was not well. Put it that way.
Yeah. I wouldn't be signing up to this 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock
Mm-mm. Not unless they're
markets.
inside. Tiny creek.
Yeah.
So
That's a
what else
good
do we want
trick.
to talk about beekeeping wise?
Yeah.
My
I'm
mentee this year
hoping.
is really cooking with Ethel, man. She is just last it was Sunday. She had to come on Sunday because it was 5 days out checking cells. And towards the end I just sat on my golf cart and she did the whole inspection. Now she's had bees for two years, I guess, maybe, but she could never, get over because there was so much she just didn't know.
Yeah. Street markets. Ours are usually real markets. Usually it's somebody's business or a block in the neighborhood,
Hmm.
a park, one of the parks in the neighborhood,
Oh,
the
here's
community.
something. Speaking of vendors, what do you typically pay to sell at a farmer's market? What's your vendor fee for a farmer's market? And then what's your vendor fee at like an arts craft fair type deal?
I haven't gone to one, paid for one yet, so I don't know. I think my friend told me he pays $50. I thought
Hmm.
35 or 50.
Just curious on what that looks like across the country. So I
Yeah, I don't
pay for the
know either.
farmer's market, I pay $20.
Maybe it was only 20.
Oh no,
Yeah.
she's got a honeybound. She's going to or compound honeybee. Jason, she's going to she's gonna have her own colonies and I think she's basically gonna take over what I do in the next 3 to 4 year span. She's gonna take over the markets and the colonies and all that. I want my 4 little colonies and be done with it. 17 outdoor doing indoor spot Jamie's shoe market. Oh. Oh, flea market.
Okay, $17. I think that's what he told me. It was $20.
Oh, here you go. Tiny
Okay.
Creek. This we'll can talk about this for an hour. Um, I don't do flea markets and I don't do yard sale type things. I don't do any of that. 100 a year. Okay, I pay $20 a spot. Hi, Dot House. 20
Okay.
bucks a spot at the farmer's market and 75 a day for Philly. That's what I'm paying. And a
Okay.
lot of permits. I think I paid $300-400 worth of permits for Philly. So
I want to requeen a hive with a cell that I have from another hive make. I'm planning on doing a split and then make cells and want to requeen with the cells they make. What's the best way to do that? All right. The hive that you want to make the cells, I would put in
oh,
a frame
hi
that
honey.
starter strip only comb versus plastic foundation comb. And the reason I bring that up is that you can cut them off of plastic foundation. Just get a knife and go in between, go behind a cell. But that's not always 100%. Sometimes you open up that back part of the cell. If you got a frame that is starter strip only, you can go all the way through the comb, and then you have plenty of comb to attach to your plastic foundation frame in your split. To just stick it right onto the plastic foundation. That's the best way of doing it versus cutting them out on a plastic foundation, especially if you haven't cut them out in the past. So I would go into a hive and make them shake them down into a single box. So they want to take the queen out. When you take that queen out, put put a good frame in there that's got um, starter strip foundation, um, and put that right in the center of the brood. Actually, do that 4 days before you take the queen out. So take that frame, put it in the hive that you wanted to get the cells from. Then on the fourth day, take that queen out, and she'll have that frame all laid up. And there'll be the best chances the cells will be on that frame. So then you know that you got really good cells from a less than 1 day larvae. That's what I would do. That makes sense. So the queen that you want to graft from, put a frame right in the middle of the brood 4 days ahead of time, and then she'll lay that all up, then take the queen out. So they make queen cells on that particular frame that she just laid up in the last 4 days. I can't hear you, Nancy.
It's extremely important to check that frame, in 5 to 6 days. You can't drop the ball on getting rid of the 14 other queen cells they make.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
If I
yeah,
followed you right on that, you can't drop the ball on that, because if you do, then you're in a world of trouble.
that's what I would do. And then I'd cut the cells out and plaster them on frames and then make splits
Yeah,
with them.
right.
That way you know what kind of queens you're getting. You know how old the cells are. You actually will know what day they're going to emerge out. So you know that 4 days, 5 days after that, she'll be flying to get mated. 5 days after that, she should start laying around the 12th day after she emerges out. 10th to 12th day, depending how the weather is. That's what I would do. You could pull the queen and then 9 days later pull all the frames out that hits emergency cells on them. Those are, yeah.
I miss
So,
what Brian
hey,
said.
James.
10% of farmers markets. Oh, 10%. Eh,
Everything,
that's a little wonky there.
yeah.
I have one art show that tries to do that sort of thing.
I
I
missed
give them
that
50
post.
bucks. Um, Brian, I think Brian was said that his farmer's market charges 10% of his take, but I don't like that deal at all because I just don't like a percentage.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, I want to know going in. I do have one. I have an art fair where I pay them like 25 bucks. They want 10%.
Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. JW gets a senior discount. I should ask for that. Get a senior discount being a senior? That's a tax. I would not accept any tax. 10% off the profit, that's a tax.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, 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 no. Because I can't when I no. When I'm figuring my cost to do business, it doesn't include paying someone 10%.
Yeah.
10 to $35. Oh, James.
Not
Hey,
eat
James. I
it.
see you slinking. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 to 35.
Yeah, I sell at the end of the driveway. I mean, my repeat customers, I do quite a bit of, I was really selling like, oh man, I don't keep track of pounds, like did 1 pound or 2 pounds. Um, I don't know, but I was doing probably 150 a week there consistently for a while. Here, just at on the driveway. What are you doing?
I do 1 pounders and 3 pounders. I do 1 pound plastic and glass and then 3 pound mason jars. That's what I sell.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't do
sell any
anything.
twos, eights, anything different.
I don't take
Two
twos
sizes.
at all because they're not buying. The city is not going to buy 2 pound jars. They say they
I
want them,
mean,
but I'm not doing it.
no, I wouldn't either. They can buy the 3 pounders.
No, uh, no. I don't sell big jars anymore because I can sell I can sell more 8 ounce and 1 pounds. I don't sell the
I
big jars
gotcha.
anymore. You got to buy it in
Well,
small.
if at a farmer's market, I'd only be doing my plastic bottles. I wouldn't even be doing and a little bit of glass,
Yeah, you
mostly
gotta.
plastic.
You'll feel it out. Like your customers will tell you what they want.
Right.
You know, I do 8 ounce squeeze. I do 8 ounce glass. I do. I don't have any 1 pound plastic yet. I just haven't gone to get any.
Gotcha.
I'm waiting to see if I get a flow.
I think it's whatever you consistently give them that they buy.
Well, they'll tell you. They request it. I mean, I've been doing it now for 4 years. I think I've been in the markets for 4 years.
Yeah.
And you get the feel of what they want. Like I didn't carry plastic my first 2 years at all. And then people were asking for it.
Right.
So you get it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Tiny Creek, no discounts and no volume. They'll be back. Mm-mm. If you got
No,
the
no
real
discounts
deal,
either. If they buy
Get
three
the real
pound jar,
deal.
they get about 5% less. I mean, lower price by about 5%, and that's it.
Yeah, James, that's about that.
Yeah,
I give up. I did my 1 pounders are 15. My 8 ounces, my 8 ounces are 10. So there's my difference. But I
right.
have, if I, when I get spring honey, my 8 ounces go to 15 and I get it no problem.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, actually, one of my one of my suppliers, wholesalers, they sell my 1 pounder six for $17, 16.99, and that they sell more
Mhm.
honey than any of my other places.
Yeah,
So,
I've been taking observation hives a lot. I gotta let Louis out.
all right. Yeah, I have an observation hive I do for classes and stuff like that. I think that's a good idea, at least at the first couple markets, so people get to see the bees.
Oh yeah, it's I took an observation hive to Chestnut Hill, which is outside. It's technically Philly, but oh man, I sold out. I sold,
Yeah.
oof, I don't even know how much, cases and cases and cases and cases, because that observation hive. It really it really makes a difference.
Ooh. And
Oh,
I did not post on no well on the chat because we were teaming up and we were trying to figure out how to do that. So next week I will post, and I didn't put it on the no
oh
life.
yeah. And
I
I don't
forgot.
post on No Life anymore. I don't know why. I just forget. I don't know. I don't
Well,
not post on No Life for a reason. I just forget. I just don't see
and
it or
and
just forget.
and this week Nancy hosted the
Yeah.
chat. Next week I'll probably host it.
Yeah, we're teaming up. Tom and I are gonna team up. Um, so they're yeah, we're
So
gonna team up. So one of
so
us will
first,
be, I guess, Tuesday. We're not sure if it's gonna be Tuesday night or Wednesdays yet either. We're not sure, but we know you guys will follow us around.
yeah, because Bob did not go live today. I checked.
Yeah, it's 20 after. So Tiny Creek, I had someone like this too. And I said I'll buy all your honey. I told him I want to buy all their honey. They raised the
Yeah,
prices.
yeah. Hey, you make $6 a bottle.
Jeez.
Stick your label on, make $5.
Yeah, yeah. I told him I want it jarred. I wanted it
All
jarred,
right.
and I'd buy all he had. I'd buy it all. And then he got to thinking, duh,
Yeah.
put it on there, put it on
How
there.
many 5 gallon? How many 5 gallon buckets you got? I'll buy them all.
Well, yeah, but that's going to be at a different price. I'll buy them all jarred up. And
So if
guess
it's,
what? Save your labels. You don't even have to put labels on them.
well, that's true. That's a good idea.
Well,
Wow, that's nice, Brian. 199 combed honey.
wow.
I gotta look into that.
199. Where was that last one, Brian? You had one more to go. What happened to it? I carried comb honey I bought from a guy, a local guy here back a couple years ago. Well, whatever, I've been, 2 years ago, say. And it was in Ross Rounds and it did not travel well. I couldn't sell it fast. Like people just didn't, they just don't know. and then
right.
it would go to market after market after market with me, and the jostling around, the loading, unloading, the garage, in the garage, out of the garage, all of that, bouncing in the car. It did not hold up.
I got a question for Brian. Does 2x4 cut or 4x4 cut sells the best?
Mm.
So Brian, which sells better, 2x4 or 4x4? Because I've always heard people doing it, 4x4 cuts.
Well, good enough. The point
I
was,
like that.
I didn't have to do it. The guy figured it out and raised his prices. So it was just a jerk move on my part to get him to raise his prices.
Russell says 2x4 is the best seller.
Yeah. To Yeah. Those are nice for a charcuterie board. They fit real nice at 2x4.
And I would get more cuts per frame too. Twice as many. So I like that idea.
4x4. Oh, $20. That's it?
That's
Oh,
cheap.
good enough. What market are you in? Oh, good enough's up there in New England states. Yeah. I'm getting some young kids, JW, that's right. I'm getting some young kids that are asking for it now, but I kind of think, I wonder if they really know what they're talking about, but I tell them I don't have it
Yeah.
anyway, so
Brian's texted he only sells 2x4s. So he doesn't give them an option.
Connecticut. Yeah. Why wouldn't you buy someone else's honey and sell it? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if the guy did call my bluff, I would have bought all of it jarred up. Would have saved me a lot of labor.
You're allowed to do 30% in Ohio by blend somebody else's honey into your honey.
Oh, we don't have any of that. We don't have any of that.
You're allowed in
Our
Ohio to do
our
that.
up here in the north, up here in Pennsylvania, everybody buys honey from other people, other beekeepers. Like I
Yeah.
buy honey from other reputable. Like I know I've been in their yard type a beekeeper. Like I know how they run their operation, or commercial. But no one talks about it. Like you can never admit you do that. And if someone finds out that you did that, they run around and tell everybody else. I'm just like, come on.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, is 21st Beyond? Did I miss him? Did is 20 is did I don't even know his first name. Is 21st Beyond? Oh, there he is. Hi,
Yeah,
21st.
Michael. Hey, Michael.
Michael. How did you get that 20 name 21st? I'm curious about that.
He he had a giveaway on somebody's.
Just compress the tar. I want to read this one. I want to read this here. Just compress the tar out of a few hives the other day and only left 5 frames of my new comb frames in each one. Checkerboard in there. Left 5.
Okay.
Only
I hope
left
they don't
5.
swarm.
Why would you?
Well,
How did you checkerboard? Oh, you check. Oh, because it was. Oh, all right. I got you. Only left
had to
5.
make 10 frames.
Gotcha. I got it now. Yeah. Okay. It's a brood box, right? I mean,
Yeah. I think he's okay. It's the end of swarm season, so they shouldn't swarm. But I would make sure those 5 frames that he left, there was at least 2 frames that didn't have any brood on them, so she could keep laying while they're building out. Yeah,
Collector. That's funny. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're in a flow, they'll pull them real quick. You know, I mean,
yeah,
if
but
you're
he's in this Oklahoma.
oh, he should be in the flow right now, right?
Yeah,
Arkansas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Oh, they're just getting so much rain and probably can't even
yeah. So
can't
this
wrap my head
week,
around it.
yeah, my bees have been flying big time with the sun finally coming out. Somebody's using
Mine are
tar for
finally,
mite control.
mine are finally realizing it's spring. They're finally
Yeah.
acting like they should have in April.
Luckily, I got a lot of Caucasian um, um, in mine, and they fly in the rain. So
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
mine
what they're
do too.
bringing in.
Yeah, who knows what they're doing? They're up to no good.
Oh, not in
Mine
the brood
fly at
boxes.
42 degrees and in the rain. Mine are flying. Like you said, I don't know where they're flying to. They're out.
He's in Arkansas. Okay, I knew it was one of the two. Yeah, we're about the same way. End of July, end of June, early July is the end of the flow. Flow. Good flow.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't even do a
Night,
garden anymore. I haven't done a garden in 6 years because I just can't do. Good night, JW.
night, JW. I do a
I
garden.
can't take care of bees in a garden anymore. Like I can't.
I do a raised bed garden, so I don't have to bend over anymore.
Everyone else
Yeah.
around here does gardens, so I just get either it's free or so cheap that I just don't even bother with it anymore. I do flowers. I do a lot of like, flower beds and stuff for me, not the bees, for me.
Right.
I like flowers.
Yeah, my witch hazel that I planted this spring, they're about 2 feet, foot and a half to 2 feet tall. So they're doing good.
Hey Matt. Hi
Hey
Matt.
Matt, good to see you. Man, he expanded big time this year.
Did he, well, I don't know the numbers. I haven't heard the numbers.
I don't know the
Um,
numbers either. I don't think he knows the numbers. I don't think Matt knows.
just a shitload of bees, man. I just got bees. I got bees. I got boxes of bees.
Well, every time I saw one of his videos, he was making splits and splits and splits and splits.
What are you at? What are you at, Matt? No, I don't want a garden. I know how to garden. I don't want a garden. I don't want to have another thing to pay attention to. I'm getting old, believe it or not. Not
Well,
as old
that's
as
James.
Tom.
Good luck in doing your cutouts.
Uh, containers. Yeah, no. I got 2 acres here. I mean, I got a lot. I could garden a lot if I. Sorry, Lewis.
Yeah, they're not brood boxes; they're honey boxes. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that when I pull the honey. I'll put my checkerboard in frames. I'll put mediums back on them, and then right at the end of the flow, get them to build those up. Last week of good flow, similar thing. So yeah, I just don't do it during. Well, I have them up. I have 5 boxes that I need comb put in them. I got them on the hives right now, so those are the ones that will go back on after I pull the honey to see if they can fill out the rest of the hot frames. So, yeah, hey, Matt and Lisa. So, Matt, do you know how many hives you have right now? Queen, right? Hives?
Hi, Alicia. I don't know if Alicia's on. She was on my very first chat with me. I talked her into coming on with me. My very
Wow.
first chat. She's so supportive. I know. I know. I haven't seen her since. But she's selling houses. She's busy
Yeah.
woman.
Sounds
But
like she's
I'll
doing well,
I'll
too.
never be able to thank her enough for that.
Around 140 to 150 total.
Shh.
I told you
Yeah, who
didn't
knows?
know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I guess upwards of once you hit 120, you don't know anymore. Like I think once you get 100, you kind of know where you're at, then you get 120 and then it just bottom falls out. You don't know where you are till the end.
I'm at 30 right now. 30 queen right hives. Well, 29. One of them might have a queen, she might not have a queen. I'll find out
Oh, Philip
this few
Philip has
days.
some good Philip has some good advice there on I don't obviously I don't do cutouts, but
Oh yeah, yep. And if you vacuum, keep that motor, keep that vacuum running most of the time.
oh, you mean oh, so it's always sucking air. Like it's always giving them
Yeah, it's
I would
always
have never done
circulating.
that. Yeah, that makes sense. If they've been in there for 6 years, why bother? Like, why would you even, why would you
Because
even
they're tearing it
bother?
down, maybe.
Oh,
That would be my guess. Yeah, there was an old abandoned house that was half fallen in, and some people bought the property and they put retirement homes on it, and there was bees in. That's where I caught swarms off of. There was bees in there for years, for decades, and
oh,
I didn't. They tore it all down, and I didn't get a chance to cut them out, get them out. So I don't know what happened to those bees. Probably buried them.
oh, I forgot to tell y'all. So guess what? I didn't even tell you. I haven't been on in a while. So I went and did my early formic, right? I wanted to do it in April this year. I did it in May and June last year, May 2nd, June 2nd last year. I wanted to move it up 1 month to get that brood per, following Randy Oliver's Excel sheet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I did it because I thought we were going to have a normal spring. I didn't know. I put formic on about 10 of my colonies. Every single one of them, it killed the queen on every single one of them, and they swarmed out. I had queen cells, 6, 7 queen cells in there. I totally lost. So not only am I behind because of weather, I'm behind because I did something stupid. Well, I did something I thought was should have been okay, but the low temps in the 40s never they just rejected it. The bees just said, "Nope, we're not doing this." And they fled. The queens and fled. And I didn't go in them because I don't check them for a month after formic.
I'm doing my treatments a little bit different this year. I'm using Mother Nature to kill those mites, to eat them. So see what happens. In fact, I'll be buying 4,000 more predator mites um, in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna follow you about all that. Like I'm curious
Well,
to see what your journey is, how your
they've
journey
done
works on that.
they've done studies on it already, and they definitely say it's viable. And you know what? I know of at least 20 feral hives that make it every winter in trees
Do they?
and in
Do
abandoned
but do
houses.
they? But do they really? Or do they
Yeah,
swarm out, or do they die and another one moves in? Like, do they
no,
really?
no. 'Cause I catch their swarms every year. I catch
Alright.
their swarms as they swarm, but they do swarm. So they do one brood break every year, or two, one in the winter and one in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, it's I just I it was a month later, and it was about, I think I discovered it about 2 weeks ago. So that would have been about right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I put Formic on the 15th of April. And around the middle of May, I went in and there were just swarm cells and new queen. It was a mess. I mean, you know, it's just the way. It's not the Formic. I really honestly, it's not. I bought more Formic from Bill. I won't stop using Formic. I think it was just, you know, it'd be like putting Formic on in January.
right.
I don't know. I got to learn. I'm gonna bend what's his name's ear, Tom, the Formic Pro guy, and see.
Nancy, you
Yes,
got
I
all the
do. I
rain,
have.
right? That I got. You got a
Oh
ton of
yeah,
rain this
cold,
spring.
rain. Oh, it's been awful. Yeah,
Yeah, they were
yeah.
slow in brooding. In April, they weren't brooded up yet. They were just starting to brood up. You
No,
were probably too early.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we had that flow in March. We got a flow in March, and then it
Yeah.
it turned and
Then
stayed
it rained.
like it'll turn, for a couple days it'll get like, cold and icky, but no, this turned cold and icky for 6 weeks. Like it was, I
Yeah.
mean, y'all know that. It's I don't want to
Right.
but yeah, I got a lot of
Right.
I got a lot of new queens. A lot of new
But
queens. So hence the
I was
double deeps.
I was really worried this year that my hives were not big enough in the middle of April when the flow is really big. But the flow didn't start until May, end of April, 1st of May. It was 2 weeks late. And all the flows, we didn't have any swarms the first 3 weeks of April either. And we usually have swarms the first week of April, and they weren't coming into the end of April. So even swarms were 2 weeks late, 3 weeks late. Wait, late. So when somebody
Um,
texts me, traditionally the swarm season's over at the end of May, but there still might be some swarms in another week, just because everything's been so late this year.
Pennsylvania. So I clip my queens, and I live with my bees. So if they killed that queen, and then they swarmed with the new ones. Well, some of them were chewed out in the half, but they rolled that queen. They killed her.
Right,
They didn't swarm with her because they couldn't. So that's one disadvantage of clipping your queen, is they roll her. But you don't lose your colonies. The colonies are still, and then someone else had something in here. No, my entrance is no. I take my entrance. Sometimes I'll take them off for I don't remember if I took them off for the first 3 days or not, but I also have screen bottom boards. So I do put in the IPM boards, but it's not a sealed tight situation. If you follow me
Yeah.
on that. I've never had them take. I've never had them. I've never had a reduction in brood from formic.
That's because it was cooler and they didn't have a whole lot of brood to have a reduction in brood. That's my theory, Nancy.
Yeah. Well, this tiny creek here.
Yeah. Sounds like the same thing happened to him.
Yeah, but I think he just didn't have my colonies are still. I mean, I'm getting a double deep on them. They're doing okay. They didn't swarm, or I don't think they might have had one small swarm, but I don't think there was cells, but I think that virgin queen came out and took care of everybody.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to really think to really figure it out.
You know, I think that's the hardest part of beekeeping. Every year, the first 6 or 10 years, it's different. It's different by anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. So you can't do the exact same thing every year. You gotta read what's going on.
They were
I don't
building
think
up. They were building up. I wanted, I thought I was going to get that first huge brood. I was going to get all those mites under those cappings and get ahead of the game like I did last year. And it would have worked if the weather hadn't
right,
taken me
but
for a ride.
I knew something was up in March because every year our maple trees bloom the first week of March, except for last year. Last year was an outlier. It was like the second week of February. This year, those maple trees didn't bloom until the third week of March. So I knew spring was already 2 weeks pushed back. So
Yeah, good
when
enough.
I
I've been using Formic for 7 years. I I I
yeah,
I, I get that. I know, but the heat. There was no heat. We didn't get any heat.
right. You didn't probably burn any brood or anything.
Nope,
You
I
didn't
didn't
even
have any flash. I didn't smell it. I didn't know there was no characteristics of and they don't they could maybe 10% loss, queen loss, but not like it was 100% queen loss on the ones that I put Formic on. Pretty much 100%. I think I have one green queen back there.
wow.
Yeah, good enough. Yes, yes, yes. All of that's true and correct. Follow the label. The label's the law. Yes. The issue that I had is it went too cold. It got too cold and too wet. And it'd be
Yeah.
like using Formic in February or the end of January.
Yeah, you were better off pushing to about the first week of May. Even then,
Yeah,
it didn't get
Russell.
much warmer. Only got like 5 degrees warmer. Shoot, we just had a 43 2 days ago in the
Yes,
morning. June 1st in the morning, it was 43 degrees.
yes. Same
Crazy.
here. We're
I
just
think our
now getting
normal's
up to yeah.
I think our
Um,
normal's 59 degrees, 58
Russell,
degrees.
that
It was
that
3.
kill rate's a lot higher. That kill rate's a Formic has a higher kill rate than 70, but you're getting them early too, so that they don't multiply. But Matt had a good one here too. Matt hasn't used Formic yet. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, right, Matt. Right. Like you're going like I don't know. I don't know if the commercial guys use Formic. I mean, I honestly don't know
I think
if
most of them
commercial
use
guys use.
thymal. I think thymal's a big use. big usage. The commercial guys.
Yeah, there you go. This is a good one from Philip. Um, Good comment. And then good enough here, way up in Connecticut. He had the same thing happen. Yeah, in October, man, you're screwed. Like, yeah, if you lose too many queens. I mean, I typically have a 10% queen loss for forming, but I'm already I'm already got my summer solstice queens in the 5 frame, next to it. So I'm always okay.
Right.
I manage in that 10% loss. It's not like, oh shit, one day I'm 10% down, I've already managing that.
Right. I can't if I wait till fall time, I can't do my formic until early, September. It's always maybe the last few days of August. That's about it. September. Yes. And I don't have enough. I don't get enough summer solstice queens made it. I need to do 50% more, so I have a few extras just in case.
Russell was asking about Randy. Go to his Excel sheet and then plug in. You can play with that Excel sheet. You can plug in numbers and dates and stuff relevant to your area. Now it's not nothing's 100%, but you can see the kill rate per
Yeah,
brood and time of year and blah blah blah.
but his formula is not right though. For it's right for his climate, but it's not right for a lot of other people's climate. Because
Yeah.
like right now, there are not no mites are being bred or reproducing in my hives right now.
No,
This week,
I haven't even done a wash, and I just
because
yeah, I don't have no.
we have
It's not even on
70%
my.
humidity in our hives. My hives are now getting up 95 to 100 degrees. They're starting to uh, birding a little bit. So when you have those environments, mites are not reproducing.
Why would you,
This chart,
Russell? Why did you take it off after one day? Like what happened in one day to go back in and pull that? I would have been. Why would you would have to have a mask on for sure if it was? And Russell, I don't know where you're at. I don't know I think, are you northwest? I think Russell's way up, if I remember right. But why would you have gone in the next day and pulled the pads off? I'm curious.
yeah, I mean, if it was hot or humid, it would not be good.
Yeah, Philip, I don't think down there and I don't think where you're at down there, Western Michigan. Oh,
Yeah,
Western
but
Michigan.
it can be hot.
Yeah,
It can be
Texas
hot.
guys like Louisiana and what's the Keith and all them. I don't. They probably cannot use Formic. Minnesota. Yeah, no, you wanted them to beard. It's right. So Russell, bearding out is allowing the airflow and for the formic to get under the cappings. So you wanted all of my bees come and cover the whole hive. All the bees are outside when I put
Yeah.
formic on. I have some good pictures. But that's how you know it's working.
Right. Yeah, it's a
Minnesota.
little bit different treatment.
Yeah,
And hopefully they go back in the box.
they do. Sure they do. They go back in. At night it gets
Yeah.
chilly though, so half of them will go in. Yes, I love Formic. When it Yup, it's a good product, and I've overwintered all but 100% year after year after year with my mite treatment protocol.
Right.
But it's the way I was taught. So my area, and it's the way I teach too. So where we're at here in this area, it's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know what the prices are going to be now, but hi Roy. Just
Hey,
when we're getting
Roy.
ready to go. I'm shutting down at 9, Tom, if that's okay with
Yeah.
you.
No,
I'm curious if I shut it off, Tom, will you stay on? I
no,
wonder,
because you're the one who created the um live.
but what if I oh,
You,
I
well,
know
I
you're
can end
never
the session. No, you know what? We'll probably stay on because I can end the session also.
I'm what let's try it. Let's try it in a little bit. I will
Right.
uh remove myself or what? What's up? Did you go for a walk with Dad? Did you go for a walk? Huh?
Yeah.
No, he wants to Louis like, what are you
You
doing?
can probably end your stream, but my half will stay on, I believe.
Oh, Target Randy. Oh well, Randy probably should have some foot. Never had a problem. Okay, so Randy, he's down south too somewhere. No, I'd never dribble. I would never dribble. I dribbled my first year. I'll never do that again. Cracking hives and making wet, cold bees in December. Oh, never heard of such. Yeah, yeah, different animals. But that's that's how different we are.
Yeah, Barnhill, he says he does it in April also. I think April, May, depending on your season. Well, when it's still cool and it's just
Oh,
warming up.
Arkansas. Yeah, okay. You're at a different. Yeah, so that's what I was shooting for, Barnhill. I was shooting for an Arkansas April. Like I was shooting for a normal, typical April up here, and it didn't happen. I
Right,
it failed, but I'm okay. I mean, it's beekeeping. It's what we do.
right,
We
right.
screw up, we dig ourselves out, we screw up again. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, nobody's changing anything. Like you do what you. We are for all across the country here. We couldn't possibly, like DC went to the store, but like we could never keep bees like each other. Like I could never keep.
right.
I couldn't keep bees the way Keith keeps bees, or you know what I mean, or Philip. Like it's just yeah, they're under that. Well, they could Philip it technically. It could have been getting good. Yes. Under the cappings, yes, it could have been.
I just saw an article the other day on the news. In March, we had 3 days in the 80s. April, we had 0 days in the 80s. May, we had 3 days in the 80s.
Jeez.
That's how cold our
That sounds
April
like
was.
a
No,
good OA dribble on June on my nukes. I bet you that would Roy. I'd be interested to hear about that because I don't treat my 5 frames now. I can't. I don't treat them. My summer solstice queens have that brood break, and then they don't get treated. They get treated with OA in September,
yeah,
or even yeah September. But I would consider a dribble in June, but not Christmas like they tell us to do up here.
yeah.
Oh, Grayson's back. I didn't know he left. He's back.
He does. He does that a lot. He's back. He was the first one on.
Yeah, I know. And then he just disappeared. He probably had something to do.
He probably had something to do.
So I don't worry about the temp so much with the Formic. I put it on late in the afternoon, and then the bees all hang out on the outside. So they regulate it. I don't worry too much about the temps. Now, if
Yeah.
I see we're going into a hot streak of 92 or 95 for a week, of course, I wouldn't do it. But
Some people don't like those bees bearding. I
oh,
don't care
that's
if
a
they
help.
beard or not because it's after the flow anyway when they do it. So,
Yeah, up here, that's a
I
sign
don't,
of a healthy hive. Period. If
yeah,
you
it's
if you
actually a good
that means you
sign.
got a lot of brood in there. They're
Right,
bearding.
right. They might beard a little bit here in June, but not much. And all the forester bees are still out there flying. It's just all the nurse bees are out bearding.
Yeah, washboarding and doing all staying out. Yeah, it's the whole right. I don't
I don't think,
bearding to me makes me think that that's a healthy hive. Like that's a sign of a
yeah.
healthy hive to me.
We typically, I think we average 30, 20 90s a year, something like that. I don't think we're going to get more than a half dozen, if any. I don't think we're hitting that many 90s this year. Just how, I mean, next 2 weeks, I saw 14-day forecast, everything about normal, which is good. We've been running below normal.
Oh, there's DC
Somebody's get,
back in the store. Yeah, DC. When I'm my bearding up here, when they're bearding, they got nothing to do anyway, so they're just staying out of trouble.
DC lives in the tropical forest. It doesn't get hot where he's at. It's
DC, yeah,
or
probably doesn't get hot enough to beard.
he's in a whole different climate. He's in his own little climate world.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing for him to do, there's nothing for him to do.
I
I'm gonna
like to
try to
when they're
make
bearding.
actually. Who was I talking to
They
this
are doing
about?
something.
Yeah,
They
they're
are
keeping the
working
brood warm at
when they're
night.
bearding.
They're keeping the brood warm at night. Like
They're
they do.
regulating the brood, and they go back.
Yeah,
They go back
yeah.
in as the night cools.
And if they don't
As
have to, then they don't.
as the
But
brood cools down,
yeah, heats
and
up,
sometimes
cools down.
if you got really big hives, they're still out there even through the night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have a picture. I have a picture of a deep and a medium and two or three supers, and the bees are covering the whole thing. Three sides of the whole thing. Bees are out. They were out there for days and days and days. Um, who was I talking to just recently about like running? I talk about summer solstice queens, but doing that whole thing much later, like August.
Yeah, actually, some of my queens I'll graft,
Mark,
and if I need a few more queens, I'll graft again, and those are August queens. But that's about
Mark.
third week of August is about the latest I like to go because the drones are old and not as viable, and there's not as many drones.
Yeah, Tiny Creek. It's because they're all out foraging and they come back. There's too much heat. So they go
Yeah.
out in the front, they go out. That's probably why you see it at night. But the foragers, they'll go in, do what they need to do. They come back out and hang out on the outside or take off again.
Hey, Mark Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
mine like
told
to hang out at night when it's 70 to 75 degrees still at nighttime.
I find
We
a lot
saw
of
70
mated queens.
later on this week. I think Friday it's only going down to 70.
Oh, you run DC runs slatted racks. I never did that. I
I
never
don't do
got
that.
into the slatted rack. Not I think I didn't do it for cost and weight.
and
Like,
something else you gotta have in your hive.
yeah, I think they're great, and I think they do what people, why I think they're great, but I just didn't. And then by the time I figured out if I didn't have any more money, I was at the end of my money rope.
Yeah, yeah, they're costly. Slotted racks aren't cheap.
Yeah, unless you make them, he probably makes them. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dennis had a good comment here about bearding. Trying to catch that one.
goodness, I missed that one. Oh,
Um, yeah, right. Like, so I had
yes.
a five framer out there that was bearding today. Yesterday it bearded a little bit. Today it even bearded more. So I'm like, So I
You
went down
better.
and I took the deep off the top and put a deep in here and a queen excluder, so they can all move up into that deep, the queen up top here. I want to keep an eye on her, and then I can just pop the lid and pull those frames and make sure she's okay,
Yeah,
or
but
split her off
with
or do
Dennis,
something.
Dennis, that's a good problem to have. When you see him bearding before the flow.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's
Yeah.
my
Yeah. I was
goal, is to
excited.
get the hives that big before the flow.
It's two. It's five. It's two medium five frames and then a deep five frame. So I took the deep off. I looked in that first medium, which would be box number two, is full of nectar and pollen. So I put an empty deep and then put the
Right?
queen excluder and then put the queen up top. So it's a double deep with two mediums, and that's a five frame.
Okay.
Ah, oh, offsetting supers. Yeah, I did that, Philip. I did that, and I want you to do it. I want you to do it. I did that and got queens back in, but I was pretty young when I did that, so I probably did something else stupid. But I've had queens come in the top. I don't do it anymore, but do it.
Yeah, I try to keep my queen in the bottom box all the time.
I know. I think I was second or third year, so I probably did something else stupid. But I got queens up top.
Right. Especially going into winter, I want them in the bottom box so they can move up the boxes.
Oh, here's a response to Philip. I don't know if they're appearing. Oh wait, nope, nope. Hold on. I want to put this one. This is a response to Philip. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. There you go.
that's a, that's a good trick you can do. Offset them an eighth of an inch.
And I wonder if Philip down there in Texas would, by offsetting, he could dry some of his out quicker, or would it be wetter? I don't know.
I don't think it makes any that much difference.
No, you don't think?
Gus
Okay.
Mitchell, Gus Mitchell would offset his boxes all the time when it got hot.
Oh, yeah. Well, right. He's somebody to follow for sure.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about water getting in there. Their bees are actually
No.
line the whole line up to keep the water off.
Yep. They
Now,
hang right on the edge, and
yeah,
it
they go
just
right
runs
up.
straight. They're like a roof, like roof.
They,
You know,
they make a little
scale.
dam with the bees. I sometimes take a penny nail and stick it underneath the bottom part of the top box in between boxes, just get a little crack. That works good too.
Dry down. Oh, DC's saying it does help them dry down. I was wondering.
Yeah. get a
Yeah,
better
that
flow through
yeah.
there.
Well, and DC needs to dry things out for sure.
Yeah, because they're fanning anyway.
Yeah. I I one time I there's a farm around me, so the next road is a little distance away. And I remember I was in a colony one time and I was doing an inspection or whatever, just messing around, and I heard just thump 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 like a flat tire. But it was too far for me to hit. Like I couldn't figure it out here. So I asked around and other people heard it too, and then we determined it's the drones helping dry out the honey and strengthening
Oh
their
yeah,
muscles. Kind of sounds like a
oh
flat
yeah,
tire far away, but it's right in front of you, you know?
yeah. They do more work in a hive than people realize.
I think so too. I think so too.
You ever notice when you go into the hive and you see a ball of bees on the frame, there's usually a drone underneath it, and they're protecting the drone.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that a lot of times.
Oh, and I
Have
put
you
that
noticed
deep
that?
above that queen excluder. I was picking drones off that the frames because I don't want any drones above a queen excluder. It's the only one. It's the only one that would that will have it. But I want that queen on top because I'm selling two nukes on Sunday,
Oh,
and
gotcha. Right,
it might be that because it's a five. You know, whatever. I don't know yet, but I want her on top. So I put a queen excluder because I have a feeling there's another queen down below because just something
right. That's a
whatever.
good idea. Right, makes it easier
And
to find the queen.
yeah, so I put her, but there was I don't know, 10 drones perhaps, maybe. So I just picked them off and I kind of aimed them to the front, down to the front there. I don't know where they went,
Oh
but
yeah,
I don't want any
I do
drone.
have a little I do have a little subject to bring up. I was one of the things I have noticed now the last couple of years when I do single brood management, I don't get as many drones if I do two boxes of the two deeps management.
Say it again? What?
I don't think I get as many drones when I do my single brood management
Right,
versus two double
right,
deeps.
right.
Has I
Well,
wonder if anybody else have noticed that. I
do you run drone frames at all, or do you give them
Yes, every one of them has a drone frame.
well, that would say that your doubles are stronger, right? That would have
I
to.
notice I notice I get a lot of drones early when they're brooding up, filling up that single brood box. But once those drones emerge out, it doesn't seem like they replenish them. You know,
Hmm.
during the flow. So by the time the flow ends, there aren't as near as many drones.
Huh.
They
Yeah, I
start
don't
filling it
know.
up with honey and other stuff, pollen and honey, because you know they're the third frame in. That's what I've noticed. They use the frames for they use it for brood for drones, and then once that hatches out, then they use it as a resource frame as the flow starts ending. And they're
Yeah.
not Queen's
Yeah,
not
they
laying
backfill
drones
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I do
backfilling.
story. Yeah, I do story frames too. Put them in this in the center to get their attention to them, and then as she lays them up, I move them out. So when they
Right,
emerge, they backfill, and it's on the outside for insulation for winter.
right. I would think though, if I had them in a double deep, that there would be maybe two rounds of drones versus maybe just one round.
Tiny
There
Creek
used to,
saying, yeah, yeah, I don't know.
yeah, maybe it's my genetics.
So this is interesting, DC, and I'll tell you why it's interesting because I am finding more and more mated queens when I open my hives in spring. I have my marked clipped queen and I have a mated unmarked unclipped queen. When I put that mated queen in there, there was no drones left. It was October. I had a
Yeah,
colony make a queen and she got mated in October. So that
yes,
might be because someone near me has insulated hives. What do you think, Tom?
I no, well, yes, but no.
Okay.
Every year, one of my hives, usually one of my bigger hives, will overwinter a bunch of drones, 50, 60 of them every year.
Dang.
And I think they do that so there's always drones available late season and early season. I think these do that, but it's usually one of my healthier hives will harbor a good chunk of it, a good population of drones through the winter time.
See, mine don't. I don't. My drones are like, but then, I mean, it's got to be someone near me because I am
Yeah,
getting, and I want to, on purpose now, I want to just try because you have all those excess bees in September. I mean, my colonies are freaking huge. Why not try it? You know?
right. But it's usually one
Doesn't
of my
work,
end.
doesn't work.
It's usually one of my hives near the end of the line or the beginning of the line. One of my bigger hives at the end will harvest the drones.
Yeah, DC. That's exactly right. DC. That's exactly right. They run both queen, both they coexist, fully mated.
Yeah, to the flow. Then probably during the flow that
Oh
would
yeah,
happen.
right. Yeah. Yeah, then the mama, then the old lady takes off. She gets pushed out. Oh, they both
Right.
probably get pushed out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be interesting if the youngest queen gets to stay.
So I'll mark. Well, what's the color next year? Will you raise good rate? What's the blue? It's wait. Will you raise good? Oh, it's green. No.
No, green was last year.
Will you raise good bees? Will. Oh, it's white.
It's white.
I
Yeah,
don't like white. I don't use white. I'm not. I use orange. Well, no, not orange. A pink and purple instead. I don't like yellow and I don't like white.
I don't like yellow.
Yeah,
White's all right with me.
I got too much light pollen. I don't like white. So I don't know what I'll do yet, but I'll either make one of them pink. No, no, I can't do that. A light purple and a dark purple. Pink is with red. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do. I don't like
Yeah.
white or blue is this year. Yeah, yeah. I got blue.
So I believe there's not nobody's ever done a study on drones. They don't all perish. I think the older ones do. I think the younger drones live.
This will be way after like the food. There'll be plenty of food on in September and October. Everybody will have.
Honeybees honeybees right. All my splits I do for summer solstice are 3 to 4 frame of bees. I'll split 2 frames and I'll shake in 2 frames of bees into my 3 to 5 frame start of my nukes. So you're right. They got to be stronger hives, and you make my entrance only to be like quarter-inch big, 3/8 by 3/8. Keep them very small. It's very small entrance.
White ears, huh?
Yeah,
Why, Mark? Why white ears? I just don't like I can't see the white. There's too much white pollen. They don't jump out. The queens don't jump out at me.
that's good. I've never noticed. I haven't been beekeeping long enough to have multiple white ears.
White and yellow, I hate. I don't like those colors at all.
I know a lot of the commercial beekeepers that sell mated queens and packages and all that. That's all they use is white.
Yeah,
All the
well,
queens
yeah.
are white,
Yeah.
white marked.
All right, guys. I gotta call it. I'm gonna go, and we'll see if Tom can stay on.
I think I
See
will
what
be.
happens. So thanks everybody for showing up. Tom and I'll see you again either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're not decided on exactly what day, but we'll let you all
7
know.
o'clock. Yeah.
And
All
I'm
right,
gonna
Nancy.
good night. See
Have a good week.
you soon.
Yeah, now it's just me. That's what I figured it would be. That's, oh, you're back on, Nancy.
Yeah, I just removed and it said something, and then yeah, so
Nancy's backstage. I
okay,
could
so
add
it
her.
said to do something here. So it said to do this. Hold on. Hold on now.
You're still backstage. Testing, testing. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Morris. Nancy just got off. I'm only going to stay under 9:30, so 12 more minutes. But Mark Miller, that's interesting. You said about white. I know all the commercial beekeepers that sell queens. They mark mostly only white. Um, so there might be something about that. Device not connected. Now that's what it says backstage. Okay. Well, it's just me, like it used to be. Just got ice water left in my drink. Oh, it's about dark now too. So, what do you guys want to talk about the next 10 minutes? So, I will be setting up my cell builder um, pretty soon, probably next early, probably about the 10th, probably about 6, 7 days next week at this time, so I can get grafting again. The good news is hive number one split on me twice. Um, so that hive right now, I let it make a queen. It might have a queen, it might not. I was going to check them after the rain, probably Saturday. Morris asked, when is it too late to make a split? Morris, I would say it all depends on where you live. I don't remember where you're from. Um, I won't go, I'll only go to September, which is 6 weeks before frost. My typical frost. My typical frost is middle of October. I don't like to have queens flying later than into September. Um, So that's my biggest thing. And Mark asked, what's these mites, killing mites you're using and talking about? There are seven predator mites. One of them, the best one, is a false. It's called a pseudo scorpion mites, and they tested them, and they will eat. They on their big claws they have like scorpions do. They have a sting in them. It doesn't hurt the people, but it does the mites, and it kills the mites, and then they eat them. And the other predator mites, I don't know how they kill them, but they also eat them. Some of them, not all of them. So I can buy 40,000 predator mites for like $35, and 40,000 predator mites will cover 2 acres of land. So they come in sawdust and egg form, and I just spread them out in front of my hives and let them crawl into the hives. They even done studies that the bees will coexist with them and don't chase them out. They help them out. So they like these mites and bees have existed naturally in the wild. So in fact, I just got my chipper out, but my engine's locked up. I haven't used it in a few years. I got to take it apart and get the cylinders freed up. As soon as I do that, in the next week or two, I'm going to be grounding up a bunch of salt wood chips and putting them down in front of my hives for the mites to harbor in and reproduce in. So that's my new treatment way, Mark. I've cut down my treatment on my hives this will be my fourth year, not using any only using oxalic acid, mostly in the wintertime. And I've only lost 5% to 10% of the hives until this past season when we had the drought and I had my knee replacement. Then I lost 42%, basically half my hives almost. But that was because they starved to death, not because of mites. And I've done testing, and I don't have high mite counts on my hive. Um, so when the inspector comes in every year, he always tests 0 or 1%, less than 1%. So I think it's working. I've been buying these predator mites now for about 4 or 5 years, about the same time I started doing my testing. So my testing might be a little false. I did because I've been buying. I get red spider mites, something fierce around my place. I guess because I got all these retaining walls to tame my hill down a little bit. And I buy these mites. I buy them from Amazon. Um, these predator mites, and I will not have in 2 weeks. Every red spider mite will be gone. They wipe them out. So um, I'm trying it, and I was going to buy the scorpion mite, pseudo scorpion mite, but only a couple people sell them, and they're very expensive. But they say they're extremely common. All every state. I don't know about Alaska, and I don't know about Hawaii, but all the continental states, they're prevalent everywhere. So as long as you're not treating your bees with some chemical, you're not killing the predator mites. So I'm going to stop using oxalic acid except for the winter time because I don't know how the mites overwinter. If they overwinter in the hive with the bees, then I won't treat them with acylic acid in the winter months either. And I've been trying to look that up, but I don't have that answer yet. So if they go back into the ground and overwinter in the ground, then I'll treat with acylic acid vapor in the winter months. If they don't, if they stay alive in the hive during the winter time, then I won't treat them at zero acylic acid vapor. So I'm now a member of the No Treat Beekeepers Association group, and it's surprising how many people don't treat their bees now these days. I think it's over 20%, maybe 30%, and they kind of I've talked about predator mites now with them, and they say yeah they don't, you know, they might have them, they might not. They're kind of small. You don't really see them just like a regular mite. Varroa mite. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm not treating it at all this year. Last year I only went 2 times in the winter, and that was it. So these predator mites are they're around, Roy, and you can buy them. Like I said, you can buy packs of 10,000, 40,000 eggs, or not 40, 10, 1,000, 4,000, 2,000 packages. Just type in predator mites on Amazon or Google, and you'll see it pop up. And the best one out of the seven is already common, and they do like wood chips. So I'm going to promote the environment as soon as possible, as soon as I get my wood chipper fixed, up and running. I also worked on genetics. I catch swarms from my brother's farm. It's either feral hives or Amish feral hives, since they don't treat. And I've already talked to them about that at the Amish grocery store. And I have, like this year, I bought 5 of the Corey Stevens / Chris Warner nukes. So there's some VHS genetics in that. So between the Amish swarms I catch 3 every year, and the VHS queens, um, I don't seem to have a mite issue. But this next spring, I'll let you guys know what my losses are. So since I'm retired now, I should have them fed very well this year. Past years, that's been a problem getting them fed just because I'm working full time and having too many hives to keep every one of them get full. And that shouldn't be an issue this year. So I should be over, I should be less than 10% loss, at least all my big hives. Some of my nukes, that's a little bit different story, just because they're only 5 frame nukes. But of my 10 framers and 12 framers and 24 framers, I'll let everybody know. But a good question. So you can look up the it's PSEOUDO scorpion mite, silent P in the front. And there's been some studies on them. A couple places have studied them, and they definitely have proved that they do eat mites. They got video of it, the rower mite. So they're just part of the dinner table. Right, so I'm going to hop off too, everybody. Everybody have a great night, and see you next Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. I like Tuesday better, but Nancy likes Wednesday better. Um, but we got the stream team on Wednesdays. That's why I like Tuesdays better. But we'll see what happens. We'll start at 7 because she only likes to go to 9:30 at the latest. And I can go later now. My wife's off for the summertime, so she's not going to bed so early. But that's it. Well, everybody have a great night, and I'll see everybody on the streams. this coming week, or I'll see everybody next week. Bye. I'm gonna log off in a second. Yeah, good night, everybody. Ending now.